Hey y'all, welcome. This is Crystal back again for a weekly reading wrap up. And another week is just done and dusted here in September, so September is just flying right on by. So let's just get right into what I got into for my reading last week. Ready? Let's go. I finished just a couple of things last week. So first off, I finished The Once and Future Witches by Alix E. Harrow. I listened to the audiobook, which was narrated by Gabra Zachman, if I can read my own writing. This was a book I'd put on hold, through my library, and the hold came in, so I was like, oh, let me listen to that one. And I really, really liked this one. Okay. What's the gist? Regroup, recenter here. So we're following basically three sisters, and they're sort of estranged, and they have somehow sort of ended up in the same town together, and perhaps something has happened that made them aware of each other, right? Now, this is all taking place from the late 1800s, and is also really kind of wrapped up into the suffragette movement as well. And it's taking place in a town called New Salem. I don't know if it's like the Salem that we know, I don't know, but we can say it probably is, right? Now, sort of magic, well, they don't really call it magic in this book, they just call it witching, and has sort of gone away, like the magic. I'll say magic here, but there are not really there aren't many witches around anymore. Most of them were burned and gotten rid of. But as we all know, you can't keep a good witch down, right? And so these three sisters, the Eastwood sisters, we follow them as they sort of come into this power and connect with it again, and then try to kind of bring other women into the fold again. Like I said, it's kind of wrapped up in the suffragette movement of empowering women, and that's in there too. And my gosh, you guys, it was so good. I didn't really know what to expect with this one. I don't know how this one even came on my radar. Probably just because it's a witchy book. But man, it was so good. The writing was really fantastic. Harrow just, really sets a scene, creates these really complex, flawed characters, but you also root for them and feel for them as we go along, because they definitely have some struggles along the way, because there's, of course, a bad guy who is determined to keep witching suppressed, right? And oh man, it's just so good. There's definitely some commentary on race in here as well, and there's some really good LGBT QIA plus representation in here. It has it all. Beautiful writing, beautiful setting, wonderful characters. I really loved this book. Really, really, really loved it. Can I say really anymore? I really loved it. Yeah, I thought it was just really fantastic. So, would highly recommend, of course. And then I dove into my buddy read with my pal Mike, and we read The Wrong Stars by Tim Pratt. This was also sort of part of my Space Opera September TBR, and I liked this one a lot as well. So let's see, this one takes place, I don't know what time, but humanity has sort of spread throughout, our galaxy, and we're living, in different, like Neptunian moons and asteroids, and we're kind of spread throughout the galaxy, right? And we've come across this alien race that the humans call liars, because they tend to lie and tell sort of half truths a lot. But these liars have also, shared some knowledge with us that has helped us spread around to different parts of the universe. And these liars are not human-like at all. They kind of look squidish or octopus-ish. They sort of have tentacles and mini limbs and things like that. So they're very different, from humans. But we follow this sort of crew of sort of salvagers and what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of take things one place to another. There's a word for that. I'm losing what the word is, but I think you know what I'm saying. And as they're out and about, they see this ship out there, and gosh, like, what's this? It's not doing. It looks injured, damaged. Like, what's happened here? Let's go check it out. And they find this one person in this sort of cryostasis pod, and they're like, oh man, we need to try to help. So they sort of unthaw this person and learn of her story. Now, she was someone that 500 years ago, humanity had sort of shot out these different ships. They were called Goldilocks ships to look for other regions for humans to inhabit, because Earth was just falling apart, because humans don't take care of it. And so they were, sent out different crews to look for new places for us to live, that whole thing. And she was on one of those ships, this person that they found. And so they learn about her story, about where she was and what happened to her ship and all of this. And that leads us down a journey of another alien race out there that perhaps doesn't have the best intentions for the rest of the galaxy. I'll leave it at that. I really enjoyed this one a lot as well. The characters here again were also done really well. Very, again, complex and layered and interesting. And the settings was really good. The ships that they were using were very interesting, and the technology that they had, really enjoyed. And again, a lot of LGBTQI plus representation here, which was fantastic. And it was just very interesting story. What we learned about that, like I said, that other alien race. It definitely has piqued my interest. This is a trilogy, so I definitely think I will keep moving forward. I think Mike and I have decided to buddy read the rest of the series at some point. And so yeah, it was pretty good. If you like a good old space opera, I enjoyed this one and would definitely recommend it. So yeah, The Wrong Stars. It was good for me. And that's what I finished this week. So it was pretty good. As far as what I'm currently reading, I did make a start finally on The Arm of the Sphinx by Josiah Bancroft. This is part of the read-along of this series that Leslie over at the Nerdy Narrative has put together. And I'm just a few chapters in, so I'm hoping to get this finished in the coming week and knock that book 2 out. And that's actually... Oh no, I did read another thing. I forgot. I didn't write it in my notebook yet because I just finished it yesterday. Was The Bone Collector by Jeffery Deaver. This was for the Spinebreakers book club that Brad Proctor hosts. And this is the start of a detective series, the Lincoln Rhymes series. Now you may have seen the movie or something, I don't know. I had never seen the movie, or actually I think Denzel Washington's in it, I think. I'd never seen the movie. I didn't even read what the book was really about before diving into it. I just went into it. And I had very mixed feelings about this one. I really liked the detective crime solving parts of the book. And basically what we're following is there's a guy going through New York City, abducting people and killing them, and he's leaving little hints as to where the police can find the next body or the next person. They're not always dead, but the next person that he's taken. if they're smart enough to figure out the clues, right? That kind of thing. And so the cops that are kind of started the case want to bring in Lincoln Rhymes. Now, Lincoln Rhymes he was a what do they call him, a criminologist or whatever, someone who worked crime scenes, and he's a very smart guy, but he had an accident like a few years prior, and became disabled through that accident, and he has no movement basically throughout his entire body. He can move a head and I think like one finger, and so he's, in a bed, and he's grumpy and all this kind of stuff. But he gets pulled into this case, try to help him find the killer, right? So that part of the story, again, I liked. I liked them solving the crime, going through the crime scenes and getting all the evidence and working the scene, all that kind of stuff. I did really enjoy. There's like a woman in this as well who she discovers the first body, so that's how she kind of gets wrapped up into the case. And she's working with Lincoln, like working the crime scenes and stuff. And she was a good character. I liked her. And yeah, so like I said, that part I really liked. There were parts about this that really rubbed me the wrong way, though, particularly with Lincoln himself. Now, he's a disabled person, right? Hey, that's fine. Right in the very beginning of the book, though, he talks about how he doesn't want to live anymore because his life is just not worth living, and he is seeking a doctor to help him euthanize himself. Is that what I would say it, I guess? But because he just, life is just so terrible for him right now, right? Because how can he live like this, right? And that stuff rubbed me the wrong way. I could probably make a totally separate video about all this, so I won't talk too much about it, but anyway. It's kind of making me mad thinking about it, but anyway, wrapped up into all of that, there was like, there's him working this case and kind of like falling a little bit for the female person in this book. I don't know, I've forgotten her name now, it doesn't matter. It's like giving him a reason to live, that whole thing. I don't know, that just makes me, it just is like barf. It just leaves me feeling icky. There's some underlying ableism here when we talk about this stuff, especially when as far as I know, the author isn't disabled. Yeah. So very mixed bag for me. I won't talk any more about it because, again, I could probably go on and on. But there we go. I'm just going to leave it at that. So that's the other thing I finished. I forgot about that. I just finished it. I forget about it. It's because I didn't write it down. I have to write it down or I don't remember. So that's kind of my week. I'll show you a few things of haul here. I did pick up book 3. Whoa. If I don't drop it on the floor. For the Books Available series. The Hod King. I pronounce it Hod. I don't know. Anyone doing the audiobook? Is it Hod or Hode? I don't actually know. And this one's quite chunky, so October's gonna be fun. Of course, I gotta finish the second book first. This just came yesterday, and I'm going to be diving into this, of course, in October. Mr. Glowbones and Other Halloween Tales from Ronald Kelly, because look at that cover. Yeah, I cannot wait to read this in October. I got my Nightworms. I got The Forest by Lisa Quigley, which sounds really great. I love stuff about spooky forests. So this one's, yeah, that one sounds really good. And then I was very excited to get this, My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones, nice hardback. Very excited about this too. So yeah, really good box for the Nightworms this month. I that's it. That's my week. Bit of a quieter week. A little bit of a slow week for my reading. I still finished 3 books. But yeah, I had a good week. I also took a personal day for myself, and I did like a movie binging, and I watched Malignant, which was bonkers wild, and I really enjoyed it. And then I finally watched The Conjuring 2 because I'm always behind on movies, and I really liked that one. Didn't scare me as much as Conjuring 1, which gave me nightmares, but it was still pretty good. I love that whole story of that case anyway. And then I watched Gerald's Game because I just, recently finished the book, so I finally watched that movie, and I thought that was really well done as well. So I had a really good movie fest day for myself, so that was fun also. And other than that, that's about it. That was about my week. So tell me about your week. What did you get into for your reading? Have you watched Malignant yet? Let me know, because it was wild. Let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me. So thanks as always for watching. I always appreciate it. And I'll catch you next week. Okay, bye-bye.